Welcome to Too Fond of Books. My name is Janelle, and this is a very special Murder Mystery Monday. Now, I had already planned to do some special amped up Murder Mystery Mondays for December in honor of Cloak and Dagger Christmas. I'm sure you'll have noticed that I haven't done Murder Mystery Monday in a few weeks, and I thought it would be a good idea if I just took a few weeks off and prepped for this amped up version. And then yesterday I hosted some reading sprints, and Annika from Inking Your Thinking gave me the title, and I love this so much. So for the month of December, in honor of Cloak and Dagger Christmas, I will be calling them Merry Murder Mystery Mondays. Each week I am going to bring you 6 recommendations based on a specific subgenre of mystery, and all of them are holiday mysteries. They are all set around the holidays, focused on the holidays. Snow is a big part of the story, whatever. They're all holiday related mysteries specific to certain subgenres. And since historical mystery is my absolute favorite, I thought that I would start with that. Okay, here we go. So first up is Murder at Whitehall by Amanda Carmack. This is part of her Elizabethan mystery series, and this is actually the 4th one in the series. Oh, this is a good spot for me to say, some of these may be kind of somewhere in a series of books, but I've chosen ones for all 4 of the weeks where I feel like it's fine to read it out of order, to read the holiday mystery out of order. So for those of you who really only want to read series in order, that's fine. But just so you know, these are ones that I think it's okay if you read them out of order in order to read the holiday one. So, Murder at Whitehall. This series, the main character is Kate Haywood, and she is the musician for the Queen, which I think is really interesting. This is set in 1559. The 12 days of Christmas at Whitehall Palace will be celebrated as a grand affair, but there are those who wish to usher in the new year by ending Queen Elizabeth's reign. So one of the reasons why I chose this one specifically is because it is actually set during the 12 days of Christmas. And that just fits our Cloak and Dagger prompts so well, so I wanted to include this one. Despite evenings of banquets and dancing, the European delegates attending Her Majesty's holiday festivities are less interested in peace on earth than they are in fostering mistrust. Kate, the Queen's personal musician, hopes she can help keep the royal guests entertained. But then Queen Elizabeth receives a most unwanted gift, an anonymous letter that threatens to reveal untoward advances from her beloved Queen Catherine's late husband, Thomas Seymour. Tasked with discovering the extortionist, Kate has barely begun investigating when one of Spain's visiting lords is murdered. With 2 mysteries to unravel and an unsettling number of suspects to consider, Kate finds herself caught between an unscrupulous blackmailer and a cold-blooded killer. So this one fits one of the prompts for Cloak and Dagger Christmas, 10 Lords a-Leaping. It has nobility in it. Obviously, Queen Elizabeth is one of the characters, and it's a Spanish lord who is murdered. Next up, we have another Elizabethan mystery series, and this is the Karen Harper one. This is The Queen's Christmas. Look at that cover. Isn't that just amazing? I love this cover so much. This is the 6th one in the series, and it is set in 1564. This also fits the prompt for 10 Lords a-Leaping. It has nobility in it, obviously. And because Queen Elizabeth I is one of the characters, she is the main character, actually. And again, this one is set during the celebrations of the 12 days of Christmas, so I thought it was just perfect for Cloak and Dagger Christmas. Elizabethan England comes alive in all its pomp and pageantry, deadly intrigue and scandal, and fine feasting in Karen Harper's acclaimed mystery series featuring the young Queen, Elizabeth Tudor, as amateur sleuth. And Old English Yule has never been merrier or mysterious. A New Year's celebration has never looked more joyous, but been so potentially deadly. Fearing the 12 days of Christmas of 1564 may be the last for her ailing elderly friend Lady Cat Ashley, Queen Elizabeth decrees a nostalgic old-fashioned holiday. Delicious dishes for the table, holly and ivy, caroling, wassailing, mummery, and a lord of misrule to oversee it all are in the recipe for the revels. Then one of the Queen's kitchen staff is found as dead as the ornate peacock he was preparing for the feast. As more murders happen and threaten customs, kingdom, and Christmas, Elizabeth and her diverse band of privy plot counselors try desperately to solve the increasingly bizarre crimes. When the Thames freezes over and Londoners take to the ice for an elaborate frost fair, Elizabeth of England must outfox the diabolical demon who would kill not only the spirit of Christmas, but the Queen herself. One thing that I loved about this was we got a good mystery, but there was also so much in here about how the Tudors celebrated Christmas. It was really, really interesting. Okay, next up we have A Christmas Homecoming by Anne Perry. This is set around 1897. I wasn't able to get an exact date, but this is part of her Christmas novella series. So one great thing is if you don't have a lot of time, sometimes a novella or a short story is a great option for Christmas. So this could be perfect for you. I really like Anne Perry's Christmas novellas. Sometimes they are connected to characters from her series and sometimes they're not. And even if they are, you don't need to have read the series in order to really enjoy the book. And this one was a particularly fun one. In A Christmas Homecoming, a familiar face from the Charlotte and Thomas Pitt novels, Charlotte's mother, Caroline, travels with her young husband, Joshua Fielding, and his theatrical troupe to Whitby, the Yorkshire fishing village where Dracula the vampire first touched English soil in the sensational novel named after him. Joshua has arranged to produce a stage adaptation of Dracula by the daughter of Whitby millionaire Charles Netheridge during the Christmas holiday. But after the disastrous first read-through of her amateurish script, that's hard to say, only the fact that the company is depending on Netheridge's financial backing for their spring tour keeps them at work. As tempers flare and wind and snow swirl around Netheridge's lonely hilltop mansion, a black-cloaked stranger emerges from the storm. An eerily opportune arrival for this enigmatic figure turns out to be a theatrical genius. At the same time, a brooding evil makes itself felt. Instead of the theatrical triumph that Netheridge desired for his daughter, there is murder, shocking and terrifying. So this is a great option if you're looking for a quick holiday mystery read. Next up, we have A Bitter Truth by Charles Todd. This is part of the Bess Crawford series. This is the third one in that series. Bess Crawford is a nurse on the front in France during World War I. And this particular book in the series is set in 1917. This is a good series. If you enjoy reading World War I historical mysteries, if you enjoy reading about nurses, this could be a good option for you. Trying to help a woman in distress, World War I nurse and accidental sleuth Bess Crawford learns that no good deed goes unpunished. When battlefield nurse Bess Crawford returns from France for a well-earned Christmas leave, she finds a bruised and shivering woman huddling in the doorway of her London residence. The woman has nowhere to turn, and propelled by a firm sense of duty, Bess takes her in. Once inside Bess's flat, the woman reveals that a quarrel with her husband erupted into violence, yet she wants to return home, if Beth will go with her to Sussex. Realizing that the woman is suffering from a concussion, Bess gives up a precious few days of leave to travel with her. But she soon discovers that this is a good deed with unforeseeable consequences. What Bess finds at Vixen Hill is a house of mourning. The woman's family has gathered for a memorial service for the elder son who died of war wounds. Her husband, home on compassionate leave, is tense, tormented by jealousy and his own guilty conscience. Then, when a troubled house guest is found dead, Bess herself becomes a prime suspect in the case. This murder will lead her to a dangerous quest in war-torn France, an unexpected ally, and a startling revelation that puts her in jeopardy before a vicious killer can be exposed. And then we have Mistletoe and Murder by Carola Dunn. This is part of the Daisy Dalrymple series. This is set in the 1920s, and this cover is amazing. It's amazing! This one can fit a couple of prompts for Cloak and Dagger Christmas. It fits the 10 Lords a Leaping prompt, as it has nobility in it. Daisy Dalrymple is actually the Honorable Daisy Dalrymple. She's a daughter of an earl, I think, or a duke or something like that. It also fits the Partridge in a Pear Tree prompt because of the title, Mistletoe and Murder. And it's number 11 in the series. It is December 1923, and the formidable Dowager Viscountess Dalrymple has decreed that for Christmas, the family will all gather at Brockdean in Cornwall at the invitation of Lord Westmore. So her daughter, the Honourable Daisy Dalrymple Fletcher, and Daisy's husband, Detective Chief Inspector Alec Fletcher of Scotland Yard, must spend their holiday trapped in an ancestral estate with a rich history of lore, ghost stories, rumours of hidden treasure, and secret passageways, with a family seething with resentments, grudges, and a faintly scandalous history. The veneer of civility that pervades the halls of Brookdean begins to wear thin when long-held family secrets threaten to bubble over, and one of the Christmas guests is found savagely murdered. With too few clues as to whom committed the murder, and with too many motives as to why, it is up to Daisy to sort out the truth that lies beneath a generation of poisonous secrets. And last up for today's recommendation is Murder Most Festive by Ada Moncrief. This is a Christmas mystery, as she calls it. It is set at Christmas Eve, 1938. This would also fit the prompt for 10 Lords a Leaping because it has nobility in it. And I think you could also count it for the Partridge in a Pear Tree prompt for Murder Most Festive. The Westbury family and assorted friends have gathered for another legendary celebration at their beautiful country house. The champagne flows, the silverware sparkles, and upstairs the rooms are ready for their occupants. But one bed will lie empty that night. On Christmas morning, David Campbell Scott is found dead in the snow. There's a pistol beside him and only one set of footprints. Yet something doesn't seem right to amateur sleuth Hugh Gaveston. Campbell Scott had just returned from overseas with untold wealth. Why would he kill himself? Hugh sets out to investigate. So there you have it. That is my first 6 recommendations for Merry Murder Mystery Monday. Oops, I'm going to see if I can do this. Have you read any of these books? If so, I would love to chat with you about them in the comment section down below. I would also love it if you could share your favorite holiday historical mystery. And I will see you for another video soon. Bye.